Back inside of Diablo Immortal today, and I thought it would be a good day to kind of discuss the Paragon trees and which ones are my favorite and which ones I use on the regular basis. We've had questions coming in, people asking what should they be using, what are the best ones, so I am here to give you my opinion on that. Remember, if you enjoy Diablo Immortal, action RPGs, or just hanging out with me, consider subscribing to the channel because it greatly helps me on my journey right here on YouTube. So let's get into this. Gladiator tree is my go-to tree for when I do PvP battles. So if I'm in a Shadow War or some type of a PvP element, I really do like Gladiator. Now, when I do like a tree and I use it in full and often, I will complete it in full, which means I'm gonna try and gain every single little piece, every drop that it has to offer. So because I'm here utilizing the Gladiator tree whenever I battle, I'm gonna make sure that every single thing has been filled on it before I go to others. So what I really like here in this one is cheat death. This is what's gonna be a game changer for you in PvP. Let's go through it really quickly. Fatal attacks from players instead reduce you to 1 life while making you immune to damage and stunning for 3 seconds. After 3 seconds, you recover 60% of your life. Now this can't occur more than 6, 12, 18, 3.5 minutes. So here is the trick. If you're doing PvP and you happen to die, your cheat death works and then you die after that, or your cheat death works, it saves you. What you're gonna wanna then do, if you can in the game mode, switch to a different tree because you've already utilized the cheat death skill or that talent that's here on the Gladiator tree. So I'll show you in a moment which one you're going to want to change to. So to reiterate, you're in a battle in Battlegrounds and you're fighting, cheat death is triggered. It saves your life. This tree is not going to be very beneficial to you for another 3.5 minutes. So why run it if you could switch to one that will give you more beneficial effects? I hope that makes sense. Also, we also have in here quick-witted, we have rapid recovery, trapper, and uncontrollable. So these are some of the other ones. Now, for those of you that are brand new here, remember with the Paragon trees, anything that is a circle like damage, life, armor, these are active all the time, whether you have this Paragon tree selected or not. This goes for all of our Paragon trees. If it's a circle, it works always. The squares, these are the ones that only work if you have the Paragon tree selected. So that's a little bit of look. This one is my favorite, but the cooldown on cheat death being 3.5 minutes is pretty darn brutal, but the ability is the best one. So what do you change to? What would you move to from there? Well, you have a couple of options, and one of my favorites is probably Duelist. So if my cheat death is triggered, it saves my life, I'll go and I'll switch to Duelist. This is another one that we have completely used because we've completely filled up all the Paragon points because this is one that we will be actively using. So we'll activate that and we'll take a look at some of the skills. Fury stacks up to 10 times. When this is all about gaining that extra fury, that extra attack damage. Using a skill while in combat increases your critical hit chance. So this is gonna make you more potent in the battles. Now, I would never choose this one over the one we were just speaking of because this doesn't have the cheat death. But after the cheat death is used, I choose to go with Duelist. Now, there are other options. Of course, we have a bunch of them. You can go with Brawler if you like. You can go with Massacre if that's your thing. Obviously, these are not my choices. Some people choose to go with Soldier as well, but these aren't my favorite ones. Now, that was a discussion of PvP. Next, what about when you're just farming? If you don't want to do PvP, if you just want to run around the world and get as many rewards as possible, well, this is the tree that I use and I have activated 99% of the time, except for when I'm doing PvP, and that is Treasure Hunter. This is going to allow you to get more rewards. And in the past, this was only able to be used when you were out in the open world and gathering, farming, fighting mobs, things like that. But now it works everywhere. It is not just restricted to open world areas. It can be used no matter what element of the game you're playing. Dungeons, it could be in hidden lairs, it could be in open world, and I believe even rifts. So let's take a look at these. We're going to start right here. Swift Learner, 50% more experience gained when defeating elite monsters. Yes, it's going to help you experience up. It's going to help you level up your character more quickly. You have Treasure Find, 50% increased equipment drop rate from elite monsters. Yes, I like that as well. 50% extra gold. Yes, please. 50% increased globe drop rate from monsters as well. This is amazing. I love it. Why wouldn't you run this if you're trying to upgrade? Now, if you're max level and you don't need to get these extra buffs, then sure, you may not need it, but that's not most of the people playing. So I'll take any buff that I could get that's going to get me more rewards and upgrade me more quickly. Lastly, we have Greed, increases the bonuses granted by treasure find and luck from 50 to 75%. So what is that? Treasure find, gold find, luck. So these are now going to be bumped up to 75% and 75%. Now, I won't use this in PvP. When you're in PvP, you want to have that advantage. You want to have that edge. You want to have your Gladiator tree activated so that you can dominate the competition, and essentially you're getting a free life out of that. But whenever I'm in the open world, I'm going with Treasure Hunter to get those extra rewards. Now, there's something else we need to talk about today. So I just shared with you the 3 trees that I really frequent: Treasure Hunter, Gladiator, and I will switch back and forth to Duelist. But my 2 favorite off the top of my head right here, these are the 2 best ones, are Gladiator and Treasure Hunter. If I could only choose 2, those would be the 2. But then why do I spend these points, Paragon points, on other trees? Well, remember I mentioned earlier in the video that the squares, they are only if you have the tree activated, but the circles, you get that buff whether it's activated or not. So right here, the Vanquisher tree, I don't have it activated, I won't use it, and I never do use it, but I do want the increased buffs from a bunch of these circles. So look at this, I have damage, an extra 100 damage. Over here, we made our way. We spent on Zeal, although we'll never use this, we needed to spend on Zeal to connect our way over to this damage for another 500 damage, and to get life, an extra 5,000 life. So I really like making my way over. Now, I also really do love armor penetration. I think armor penetration is very important inside of the game. So at some point, I will make my way. I will do Wrath, and then I will make my way over to armor penetration. I do this in all of the trees. Check out the Survivor tree. We went here, got the extra life, we connected, I got myself more armor. I'm actually working on some more armor right now. We made our way through Stalwart, because we don't care about that. We got 3,000 extra life, made our way through Precognition, and we went over to another 500 damage. I will always make my way to damage. And along the way to damage, if I can get armor, if I can get life, if I can get armor penetration, I'm going to try and get those as well. It's a little puzzle that you have to make your way through. Treasure Hunter, Gladiator, we have maxed. Soldier, we've spent 67 points in here. We made our way over. We got extra life, resistance, more damage yet again, and I went over for the extra armor, which I absolutely love. Mastermind, same thing. I think you guys are getting the point. Make your way to the buffs that are important to you as a player. I like damage, I like armor, I like life, I like armor penetration, but my number 1 is always going to be damage that I go to so that I could deal as much damage as possible. Check out this tree. I barely touched it. Actually, I put 35 points into it. We got 10 into armor, which, look at this, is great. This tree, we had to spend 0 on any squares to get the extra damage. We got extra armor and extra damage. Very good to drop right here in Massacre. Brawler, same type thing here. We went with armor penetration, made our way over to the damage, because we need to remember that we get those buffs from the circles. Don't forget that. Gladiator, best for PvP. Treasure Hunter, best for when you're doing your open world farming and just really playing any other element of the game. I hope this was useful. If it was, consider subscribing to the channel, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.